जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय जशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन। यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन। यमुना तीर वनचारी। यमुना तीर वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय राधा माधव राधा माधव राधे, जय राधा गोविंद राधे। जय श्री श्री राधा गोविंद देव की जय। जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे ओम श्री शुभात परंस परिजय स्तोत्र श्रीमदे श्री भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्रीमद्-भागवतम महापुराण की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। So today we'll be reading from Canto 2, Chapter 9, Text 6. Sachintayan, Sachintayan, Dvayakshar-mekadamba, Dvayakshar-mekadamba, Sachintayan, Dvayakshar-mekadamba, Shuprashrunod Virgaditam vacho vibhuhu. Shuprashrunod Dirgabditam vacho vibhuhu. Sachintayan Dvayakshar-mekadamba, Sachintayan Dvayakshar-mekadamba, Syupashrunod Dirgaditam vacho vibhuhu. Shupakshunod Virgaditam vacho vibhuhu. Sparsheshu yatshodasamekavinsham, Sparsheshu yatshodasamekavinsham, Nishkinchananam nrupayaddanam viduhu. Niskinchananam nrupayaddanam viduhu. Sachintayan Dvayakshar-mekadamba, Shupashunod Virgaditam vacho vibhuhu. Sparsheshu yashodasamekavinsham, Nishkinchananam nrupayaddanam viduhu. Sah, he, Chintayan, while thus thinking, Dvi, two, Aksharam, syllables, Ekada, once upon a time, Ambasi, in the water, Upashanot, hurried nearby, Dvi, twice, Gaditam, uttered, Vacha, words, Vibhu, the great, Sparsheshu, in the sparsh letters, Yat, which, Solisam, the 16th, Ekavirasam, and the 21st. Niskinchananam, of the renounced order of life. Nripa, O king, Yat, what is Dhanam, wealth, Vidu, as it is known. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. While thus engaged in thinking in the water, Brahmaji heard twice from nearby two syllables joining together. One of the syllables was taken from the 16th and the other from the 21st of the Sparsa alphabets, and both joined to become the wealth of the renounced order of life. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. In Sanskrit language, the consonant alphabets are divided into two divisions, namely the spars Varnas and the Talavya Varnas. From Ka to Ma, the letters are known as the Sparsa Varnas, and the 16th of the group is called Ta, whereas the 21st letter is called Pa. So, when they are joined together, the word Tapa or penance is constructed. This penance is the beauty and wealth of the Brahmanas and the renounced order of life. According to Bhagavat philosophy, every human being is meant simply for the tapa and for no other business, because by penance only can one realize his self and self-realization. Not sense gratification is the business of human life. This tapa or penance was begun from the very beginning of the creation, and it was first adopted by the Supreme Spiritual Master, Lord Brahma. By tapasya only can one get the profit of human life, and not by a polished civilization of animal life. The animal does not know anything except sense gratification in the jurisdiction of eat, drink, be merry and enjoy. But the human being is made to undergo tapasya for going back to Godhead, back home. When Lord Brahma was perplexed about how to construct the material manifestations in the universe and went down within the water to find out the means and the source of his lotus seat, he heard the word tapa vibrated twice. Taking the path of tapa is the second birth of the desiring disciple. The word upsharnot is very significant. It is similar to upanayan, or bringing the disciple nearer to the spiritual master for the path of tapa. So Brahmaji was thus initiated by Lord Krishna, and this fact is corroborated by Brahmaji itself in his book, the Brahma Samhita. In the Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma has sung in every verse, Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Thus, Brahma was initiated by the Krishna mantra, by Lord Krishna himself, and thus he became a Vaishnava or a devotee of the Lord. Before he was able to construct the huge universe, it is stated in the Brahma Samhita that Lord Brahma was initiated into the 18th letter Krishna mantra, which is generally accepted by all the devotees of Lord Krishna. We follow the same principle because we belong to the Brahma Sampradaya. Directly in the disciplic chain from Brahma to Narada, from Narada to Vyas, from Vyas to Madhava Muni, from Madhava Muni to Madhavendra Puri, from Madhavendra Puri to Ishwar Puri, from Ishwar Puri to Lord Chaitanya, and gradually to his divine grace, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, our divine master. One who is thus initiated in the disciplic succession is able to achieve the same result or power of creation Chanting of this holy mantra is the only shelter of the desireless pure devotee of the Lord. Simply by such tapasya or penance, the devotee of the Lord achieves all perfections like Lord Brahma. Om Ajnanatirvanasya Jnananjala Chashunamilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langaite grim yat krupatama vandes Guru Shri Paramaguru. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityanandan Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, as we are reading Canto 2, Chapter 9, Text 6, it's Brahma is the first disciple of Lord Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. Now Brahma, and then Lord Brahma is the first spiritual master. Spiritual master, Lord Brahma, and Lord Brahma, this is a discipline succession we are talking about. Lord Brahma to Narada, Narada to Vyas, Vyas to actually Vyas, Lord Brahma, Vyas give the Narada to Vyas, from Vyas to Madhav Muni, from Madhav Muni to Madhavendra Puri, from Madhavendra Puri to Ishwar Puri, from Ishwar Puri to Lord Chaitanya, and gradually to His Divine Grace, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, our Divine Master. So, devotees, they take the shelter of the spiritual master and disciplic succession. And in Brahma Samhita, it says, Brahma Samhita is all, is stated in Brahma Samhita, all Lord Brahma, that Krishna Mahamantra, and we glorify the Govindam Adi Purusham Tvamaham Bhajami. Brahma Samhita, when we open the darshan, the Govindam Adi Purusham Tvamaham Bhajami. So Brahma was initiated by the Krishna mantra, by Lord Krishna himself, and thus he became the Vaishnava, or a devotee of the Lord, before he was able to construct the huge universe. So Brahma is the creator, and he created the whole universe, but in Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, created Brahma first. Now, we're also talking about that tapasya, penance, tapa, 2 letters, tapa. So, when Brahma, there was no mankind, nobody, only Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Brahma. He went under the water, he only heard the 2 syllables, that tapa. Tapa means penance. Penance, tapasya. You have to do tapasya. You have to do penance. You have to follow the rules and regulations and follow the order of your spiritual master to serve Lord Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead. Tapasya. penance, your tapa, penance, any devotional services you perform, that is tapa. So I would also like to refer in Bhagavad Gita as it is. Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna spoke himself to Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So here in Bhagavad Gita, in text 14, th chapter and text 14, it says, austerity of the body consists in worship of the Supreme Lord. The Brahmanas, the spiritual master, and superiors like the father and mother, and in cleanliness, simplicity, celibacy, and non-violence. The Supreme Godhead here explains the different kinds of austerity and penance, that is tapa, penance. First, he explains the austerities and penances practiced by the body. One should offer or learn to offer respect to God or to the demigods, the perfect qualified brahmanas, and the spiritual master and superiors like father, mother, or any person who is conversant with Vedic knowledge. This should be given proper respect. One should practice cleansing oneself externally and internally, and he should learn to become simple in behavior. He should not do anything which is not sanctioned by the spiritual, by the scriptural injunction. He should not indulge in sex outside of married life, for sex is sanctioned in the scripture only in marriage, not otherwise. This is called celibacy. These are penances and austerities as far as the body is concerned. So this is Lord Krishna speaks to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita. So Brahma, he was the first creator. He went under the water for 1,000 years. And 1,000 years, it says by the calculation of the demigod. And then Lord Brahma, he heard this transcendental vibration from the sky and he accepted as divine. Thus he controlled his mind and senses, and the penances he executed were a great lesson for the living entities. So, and then that tapa, penance, is 2 syllables. And what is that? That how Lord Brahma heard? Lord Brahma heard, and that was those vibration and those letters from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So basically in this chapter, this is Canto 2, we are reading from Canto 2, Chapter 9 and Text 6. So this Mataji just came, so I'm just letting you know that this about, it is all about that the disciplic spiritual master, the succession, if we follow, and we follow it from Brahma to Narada, Narada to Vyasa then from Vyas to Madhava Muni, from Madhava Muni to Madhavendra Puri, from Madhavendra Puri to Ishwar Puri, from Ishwar Puri to Lord Chaitanya, and gradually to His Divine Grace, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, our Divine Master, and now Srila Prabhupada, and then our spiritual Master, and we render all these services to Supreme Personality of Godhead through the disciplic succession, through our spiritual Master. Any devotional service you do, any cooking for the Lord, dressing the Lord, cleaning the temple hall for the Lord, why we are here, right? And it's all tapa. It's tapasya. You serve your spiritual master. It's also tapa. By serving and by following, Srila Prabhupada just gave us very simple instruction. Chant. What to chant? Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. 16 rounds minimum. And follow the 4 regulative principles. What are those 4 regulative principles? No meat eating, no illicit sex, no gambling, and no drinking. So we follow and we only eat prasadam wherever you are, wherever. Even it doesn't have to be like you have to be every day in the temple to eat food or to eat prasad. Wherever you offer, if you're traveling, you offer in your mind vegetarian, so many varieties of vegetarian food. And devotee association. Devotee association is very important. And reading of the scriptures like Bhāgavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishna book, Prabhupada, Leelamrita, so many, Prabhupada gave us so wide selection of the books we read. And see Parikshit Maharaj. What happened to Parikshit Maharaj? Parikshit Maharaj was cursed by the inexperienced, immature boy for his insignificant act. Right? He didn't realize that what is he doing. But age of Kali, that was the age of Kali. Kali already entered in the kingdom of Parikshit Maharaj. And Parikshit Maharaj was cursed, and he was a great devotee of Lord Krishna. He was following all the rules and regulations. His forefathers were great devotees of Krishna, the Pandavas. Right? So, this happened, it's the Bhāgavatam. Now, it was all Lord's arrangement. 7 days. He knew 7 days. Death can come any time. So what we have to do? We have to focus on Lord. Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. So Sukadeva Goswami also, he chose Sukadeva Goswami to recite the Bhāgavatam. Bhāgavatam is all about Krishna Leela, Leelas of Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Bhagavad Gita is Krishna, Lord Krishna spoke to Arjuna on battlefield of Kurukshetra. That was a Mahabharata. What is Mahabharata? Mahabharata was the great war among the families. Lord Krishna showed his, universal form to Arjuna. Arjuna was confused. He did not want to do the war. But Duryodhana was very persistent. He wanted to happen this war. He didn't want to give anything to Pandava. Not even 5 villages. Lord Krishna tried to compromise between them. Duryodhana, Kaurava didn't want. So this great war happened in battlefield of Kurukshetra. And that's where Lord Krishna was whose side? Pandava's side. Right? And everybody knew Pandavas the winners. If the Lord is your side, you surrender and then, your anxieties are gone. We are the parts and parcel of Lord Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Bhagavatam, reading of Bhagavatam, reading of Bhagavad Gita is very important. And it's not only, Parikshit Maharaj had only 7 days. So Sukadeva Goswami recited this Bhagavatam in 7 days. But Srila Prabhupada, he made the arrangement that in every temple of ISKCON in the morning, 8 o'clock, there is a Bhagavatam class in the association with the devotees. So tapa means, any penance. You have to do tapasya. You have to surrender by devotional services. And we are so fortunate that 534 years ago, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in West Bengal to liberate the mankind in Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, only Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam eva kevalam, kalo nastam. So, chant, kirtan, Yugadharma Hari Nam Sankirtan ki jai. Kirtan, chanting, reading, and Srila Prabhupada wrote so many books. When Srila Prabhupada came here, Srila Prabhupada came only with the books. And Srila Prabhupada says, you distribute my books and that will make me happy. By distributing the books, you preaching. It's a great preaching. So Krishna consciousness, we have to be a devotee of Lord Krishna. Perform all the austerities through our spiritual master. Then you reach to, then you go back to Godhead. You don't want to take birth again and come here. You can do so many other worships and, but to achieve that, you become Krishna consciousness. Follow the simple rules and regulations. Serve your spiritual master. Follow the instructions. Have a devotee association. Chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And you have a ticket to go back to Godhead without doubt. But try not to do offenses. Avoid offenses. If you stand somewhere, some gossiping going on, somebody is doing like blaspheme the devotees, walk away. You have no business to do that and hear that. So Tapa, Brahma heard that name at the syllabus. Tapa means penance, and tapa means penance, and that any type of penance, tapasya, you have to do tapasya. In your spiritual life, you have to do tapasya, but any devotional activities, that is tapasya. So, respect and follow the instruction from your spiritual master, then respect brahmanas, then respect seniors, and follow the instructions. So ultimately, you will go back to Godhead. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This is pandemic going on, right? This is, everybody is suffering mentally and physically. But just whatever Krishna's plan will happen. Just chant and be happy. Hare Krishna. So, anybody has any question? Okay, so we will end here. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Mahapurana Bhagavatam ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Govind Deva ki jai. Shri Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.